Constantino,
¿Qué huele?
pound for pound.
We're here with the editor of Ring Magazine, Dougie Fishcer. Dougie, if we can talk briefly about the George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez fight, June 5th on Triller pay-per-view. Break it down for us.
It seems like the matchup has gotten more press from the purse bid, being over $6 million, and the fight going to Triller pay-per-view than the actual fight itself. But I think the fight, it's a good fight. It's the Ring Magazine lightweight champion. A lot of people look at Teofimo as the undisputed 135-pound champion. I'm one of them. No disrespect to Devin Haney. No disrespect to Devin Haney. He's a top lightweight. But at Kambosos, not top 5, but he's top 10.
For sure.
He's ranked in Ring Magazine. I believe he's ranked by ESPN.com and the Transnational Boxing Rankings. So beyond him being like a #1 contender and a mandatory challenger by the IBF and probably the WBO as well, he's actually a legitimate middleweight contender. And he earned that, beating Mickey Bay and Lee Selby. And he traveled for those fights, which I like. I think that shows a lot of character when, he's an Australian. He could just fight in Australia and probably draw very well there and, have everything his way, being the home country, the home continent fighter. But fighters who cross seas, who get on a plane and travel to fight seasoned veterans and respected contenders, those guys are real ones as far as I'm concerned. So I like Kambosos' character. He's obviously a rugged guy. You don't see Australian fighters make it to the world level and not be tough as nails.
Michael Katsidis.
All of them, yeah. Katsidis, the Maloney brothers, so many. Jeff Finnick was just an absolute beast. There's some tradition there, and there's a culture of being gritty and resilient and not prone to intimidation. These guys have a lot of confidence, and I kind of when I hear George Kambosos interviewed, I kind of hear some of that Michael Katsidis swagger, and it's not like arrogance. It's just like total self-belief. It's just, it's like, hey, I'm bringing everything.
Rough, rugged.
I'm not gonna give this guy any respect, and I think that's the right attitude to have. As great, as elite, and as skilled as Vasily Lomachenko is, he showed too much respect to the young gun Teofimo because he was worried. He was worried about catching that heat. He could gauge early on in that fight that Teofimo was a bit unpredictable in his style, and he was fast enough and twitchy enough and had the kind of reflexes and the power and the accuracy to really hurt him. So he laid out. He laid out for 6 or 7 rounds, then complains about losing a decision. So you can't do that. And with Kambosos, I know we're not going to get that. I know he's going to take the fight to Teofimo. Teofimo loves that. And it's good. It's an interesting fight because when a fighter upsets like a pound for pound level fighter like Lomachenko and gets all the belts and then the money starts coming in. He's making like a record purse for him. His highest purse in his first defense. Some guys, they tend to overlook the opponent unless he's a big name, and Kambosos is not a big name. And some guys, and I've seen it, their first title defense, they didn't look good because they took a victory lap after winning the title. And sometimes they lose the title in their first title defense. I don't think that's Teofimo. I think Lopez.
Said in the presser, he's like, I'm not.
He's not that kind of guy to like take his foot off the gas pedal, and I respect that. But we'll see. We'll see. How he comes out.
Early knockout, he said.
And that, an early knockout is usually the result when Teofimo Lopez shares the ring with an aggressive fighter. But I don't put it past Kambosos to flip the script a little bit and to show some of his boxing ability, because he is a decent boxer and he's a really good athlete, and he can move a bit, and maybe we see that. Not to the extent of Lomachenko, where he's playing keep away, but some real stick and move. I honestly don't know what to expect, but I do expect Kambosos to bring 100%. And at some point, if he is playing keep away, I don't think he's going to do so for long, because he knows he can't win a decision that way. And Kambosos is really in there to win. So I'm expecting an exciting fight, whether it ends quickly or goes the duration. I'm excited. I'm expecting a good fight, probably better than Lopez Lomachenko was.
Constantino Garcia here for Little Giant Boxing. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow me on social media at Constantino Garcia.